we go. Homework page. It was like 353, 367 or something like that. It was a while ago. Maybe. Page 353 in conjunction with, I don't know, 360 something. All right, you guys. Stop, stop, stop. Page 346 in conjunction with page 353. It was due a long time ago. It was due like last week or something. So let's go over your is on Friday's quiz. Okay, so 346 in conjunction with 353. No questions on 346, 353. Jay? On which one? Okay, 2x cubed, 3x squared minus x minus 1. 2x cubed, 3x squared minus x minus 1. Okay, so first thing you should always try before you go into P over Q is grouping. That's the first thing you should try for sure. Because maybe you'll get lucky and you'll factor and the factors will match that need to match. You might be able to tell by looking at it. Maybe you want to try it out. But how do I know this is not groupable? Yeah, Tommy. Nice. When you take out the greatest common factor, it doesn't result in the same remaining factor. So what's that look like? Is x and then agreed? They don't match. 2x minus 3 is not the same as x plus 1. They don't match, therefore it's not groupable. But you should try that first because it saves you a lot of potential hassle with P over Q. All right. Q. The possible, what kind of roots of Ravago? You left out a keyword there. Yeah, rational. The potential rational roots. That's great. What's P? Just one. You don't need to worry about the negative because I do plus or minus. So P, Q. The fraction's coming my way. Factors of 1 are 1. Yes. Factors 2. This doesn't make much sense. So that 4 options. Positive 1, negative 1, positive 1 half, negative 1 half. How do you figure it out? How do you figure it out? Yeah, Brendan. Use synthetic division. And how do I know the number works when I do synthetic division? You get 0 for your remainder. All right. I don't need to plug in 1. Just look at the coefficients and the constants. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Minus 1 is negative 2. It doesn't work. So don't even bother doing synthetic with negative 1. Or sorry, positive 1. One half or negative 1 half. I'm sticking with the 1s. It's a little bit easier. 2, negative 5 is not going to get me to negative 1. Not 0. You know what? Yeah, try 1/2, negative 1/2, and keep going. Hopefully you get lucky. I'm trying 1/2 first. But what did I just do? Oh, it's okay. It doesn't work. Right. Well, it better be negative 1/2. What if negative 1/2 doesn't work? Oh, it's factorable for taps. No. Elliot! If negative 1/2 doesn't work, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. It is factorable. Everything's factorable. Not with rational numbers. It's not factorable with rational numbers. So maybe it's factorable with 3 plus or minus root 2. It just means there aren't any rational factors. Elliot! Conviction. You said it with such conviction. You're wrong. Where you say, Miss Bebick, that's not what I meant. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? Does it not work? No comments, Elliot. Does it not work? Well, then what am I doing wrong? 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 1, 2. Or 2. Add, you get negative. Positive 3x squared from the very beginning? And you're just telling me now? Oh, that's not nice. This is wrong, then this is wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. I didn't. Oh my gosh, be quiet. Be quiet. Right, Tommy. It works. Oh, jeez. There's a problem. And I knew there was a problem. So this is not me making yet another mistake and your mistake for not catching my mistake. Wow. There is something wrong with this. Legit, there's something wrong with this. There's something with the 2's. Yeah, so hold on. There's something back to x equals negative 1/2. This is important. And actually you did this last semester. It came to my attention earlier. If x equals negative 1/2, that's not how you write the factor. We don't factor with fractions. We do not factor with fractions. Equals negative 1/2. Stop, they all mean the same thing. It's a solution, it's a 0, it's an intercept, but how do I write that as a factor? Yamatine. 2x plus 1. This is not, well, Miss Back. It's not voodoo math. It's just not, it's not pretty mathematics. It's not pretty. So the better way plus. Not time. the factor. 1, 0, slash. Let's not do long division. Two x cubed plus 3x squared minus x minus 1. We intertwine division. It's helpful for your quiz, and it's going to help us realize I don't really like factor 2x plus 1. The remainder is 0. So let's practice doing our long division with 2x plus 1. Okay, practice, do it. Okay, negative 1. Multiply. Brandon, what do you get? Remainder is that what we got when we did synthetic division? Is that what? Yeah. Excuse me. M, whatever, like, right? Mx. In this case, it's mx plus b. The coefficient on x is 2. The coefficient on x is 2, right here. What's the denominator on the negative 1/2? 2. All the other ones we've done that weren't fractions, it was 1. I'm distracted. He's so cute. The new puppy. Have you seen him? He's so cute. He's a golden retriever. He. Golden lab. Yeah, a yellow lab. That's what they call them. Okay, let's focus on math. So this becomes 1, 1, and negative 1. You're dividing by 2. You have to divide your solution, so to speak, by 2. So, when I'm trying to figure out the rest of this, the remaining function is x squared plus x minus 1. We're not done. So this squared minus. Yes? Okay, so make this clear to you. The book stopped here. We did not stop here. So 17, page 3, whatever it is. My guess is that you stopped here, and if you did, you need to make sure you add to your homework, because everything is factorable. Everything is factorable. Real numbers, imaginary, whatever. So x minus 1 is not factorable in the way that we are used to. If you do the whole 8, you like to do the little x or whatever. Some of you can just do it by guess and check. I don't believe this is factorable at all, the way that we have been doing. Remember how I factor this? You did it last semester. Quadratic. Yeah. So the final exam may not be cumulative, but I told you guys before, just for this first semester doesn't mean you don't have to know it for second semester. Quadratic formula, solve it. Pardon me? Yeah, gotta use quadratic formula, solve it. This is one of those deals where you have to work backwards. You actually have to solve it to factor it. Everybody knows quadratic formula. Opposite of b, plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. I don't like negative. Negative implies that it's always negative. I prefer opposite. What do you get? Quadratic formula, simplified. What is it? Root 35. Are those factors? No. You just used the quadratic formula, so you just solved, agreed? Ms. Babbitt, it doesn't say solve, it says factor. You have to actually solve it in order to factor it. So, x equals negative 1/2. This is what x equals. X minus, multiply by 2. Multiply both sides by 2. Thank you. Yes. This is not factored. Wait, Jason, I'm not sure you heard me. Everything is factorable. Everything. Doesn't mean it's nice. Sometimes it's imaginary. Sometimes it's real. Sometimes it's rational. Sometimes it's irrational. Sometimes it's whatever. So instead of, crying, maybe we should. What do you get? What are your two factors? No. Do I really have to do it that way? Yes. Why would I spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever, if it wasn't something you didn't have to know how to do? I'm going to tell you again, everything is factorable. Everything. Real, imaginary, rational, irrational, positive, negative, whatever. This is irrational last time I checked, correct? Yes? Okay, wow. So that was one question. What else? Which number? No, I'm in the book still. I'm on 353, 347, whatever it was. All right, staple it together if you need to. Name, pass it up. I'm not done yet. Name, pass it up. 353, 346. Not the worksheet yet. Yet. This is on your quiz on Friday. So P over Q, yeah. P over Q and factoring, graph, crossing, etc. Okay, so the worksheet, take that out. What? I said, Jason, don't. What night was it? Monday? I gave you no homework? Something like that? Friday and Monday. You haven't had homework in a long time. Oh, you had no homework. Yeah, so here's what happened. I was very proud of myself, and I took the little assignment sheet and I put all, like the whole thing on Classroom, so it just posts like every day, and I was very excited about that. But see, there was notes with Friday's, Monday's worksheet that you have in your hand. And one of the notes that I forgot to retype was that you weren't supposed to do number 4. So, before you shoot daggers at me, apologize if you spent a long time on number 4. I can't do anything else other than say it wasn't supposed to be assigned. I messed up. Let's move forward.
What is a whole?
No.
I ignored the whole thing. I didn't know how to.
Okay, so this is one of those cases where I'd actually be like, it's okay, you ignored it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Questions on. So, 1, 2, 3. On the quiz on Friday, you have to know bounce, you have to know cross, you have to know multiplicity, you have to know end behavior, etc. Questions on 1, 2, or 3. Actually, you know what? Share with your neighbor first. Compare with your neighbor first.
Okay, so 0, 3, -2, but don't look at the last one. Yeah. What?
any of them that you cannot figure out between the two of you? Spit it out. What do you mean? That's because it was huge, that's all. It's because the y-intercept was ginormous. So to bring it down to something not so huge, just divided by 10 to the 8. And then 2. What do you if it's positive or negative, who cares? If you're actually figuring out the value of the y-intercept, it's huge, which is why it says divided by 10 to the 8th. To take that huge number down to here. Well, yes, I used to make people find the y-intercepts exactly. Now I've kind of loosened up on that. Yep, tomorrow. No, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. We'll learn number 4 on Thursday. Vertical asymptote. All right, pass it up. Let's go. We have got some serious work to do. How much? I am positive that you can handle it. Check. She's worried she didn't put her name under a loop.
Lily's name is on it.
Lily, your name is on it. Ask me later. We did it at lunch.
Yeah. I'll just staple it.
It's off. Cross over.
Like where?
Off of the intercept. All right, here's the deal. Where are the zeros at? 5 and negative 3. So at negative 3, I bounce. Negative 3 is a bounce. What's the overall degree of this problem? 7. It's not written well, but it's 7. So A is behavior. 0, down, up. Okay, so what's the bounce cross look like? Oh, by the way, the y-intercept, I believe, is negative. The y-intercept is negative? Where? Who knows? Don't care. Oh, at negative 3, I'm bouncing. Okay, so here's your term. When I like a bounce, you go up, right side up a parabola or a upside down parabola. That's what a bounce looks like. A cross. The street. You touch the x-axis, you go back the way you came. More than just bouncing and crossing. What? Yeah. Maybe. Brandon's throwing around some pretty fancy words. Alright, so when you don't know how to graph something, or when you very, very first learn how to graph, gentlemen, stop. So you see what you can do. What happens when I plug in 1? you're dividing by 0. If x is 1, you guys, what's going on? Okay, but Jason, you can ask me later. Let's do this. X cannot be 1. If x is 1, you get 0 in the denominator, which is undefined. Okay, so is undefined. Agreed? Ooh. What's an asymptote? Good. Line the semester with exponential functions and log functions. We did asymptotes. You can never, ever, ever in your whole math life have 0 in the denominator. Never can happen. Undefined vertical asymptotes. So, let's draw a vertical asymptote. Should I just draw a straight out line? It's got to have like something special. You always have arrow. Approaches but never touches, yes. Doesn't really help me a ton about what the graph looks like. So let's find some other key intercepts we've been doing forever. So if I want to find what okay, find those. So I the x-intercept. Maybe. Brandon says -3, 0. Yeah? Okay. You can figure out how to use the x-intercept. The equation. So you told me x-intercept to make y f of x. Same thing as make it 0. Okay, so you get 0 equals this funky. If the numerator is 0, isn't the whole fraction 0? D for denominator. If the numerator is 0, the whole fraction is 0. If the denominator is 0, then we have. How do you solve this? I just asked you this whole thing about if the numerator is 0, or if I plug in -3, doesn't that make the numerator 0? Okay, so a shortcut that always works. Don't memorize it. Think about how you have some numerator over some numerator, some denominator. Make y. You want to find the x-intercept to make y 0. Agreed? How do I solve this? I solved this? X-intercept, you always. It's going to save you a ton of time, like problem like number 4 on the homework that you were looking at. That's incredibly complex. You do not want to be plugging in 0 for y. It gets really just icky. With the numerator, set it equal to 0. So we said negative. Do other than plugging in points. I have my x-intercept, I have my y-intercept. I have. What's it look like? Okay. What point do you want to plot? I did. Yeah. Yes? What do you want to do with that? On what? Oh, yes, it did. Odd opposite. What on earth are you talking about, Brandon? I know exactly what he's saying, and it's going to become important, but what does that mean? Like, what shape have I got going on? I can't do any same opposite, backwards, forwards, even, odd thing. Yeah, it goes like this, or it goes like that, or it goes like this and that. Yeah, we got the whole thing going on. Because if it's the same, well, wait, what? The graph has a shape. The shape. What is the shape? Are they lines? Are they circles? Are they squares? Like, what's the shape? They're squirves. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not sure squirves are plane. What do you mean they're curves? Are they hyperbolas? Hyperbolas are curves. No, that's not how it works. Parent function. Parent. Sheet you got 3 months ago. I don't even know. What month are we in? January, back to December. Yeah, 3 months ago. There were 6 parent functions, and this was one of them. Any idea what it looked like? There's more than just one. I saw that. Starting from the origin. Okay, how about you sketch it on your paper? I know. Scratcher that ways. Like you are conducting the orchestra. What's that called? Does anybody have their gold sheet from 3 months ago? Oh, it's right there. So what's it look like, Brandon? You should have what there's not a hyperbola. Oh, that's not a hyperbola with diagonal. Good thing it's not heart surgery. Yes, Ravago. That's what I just did. Okay, they're branches. A rational function, and it has branches. That's what they're called, branches. Did you sketch it? They're branches. So, how am I going to get this branch on my paper? Well, it's only partially correct because we haven't learned about all the end behavior, etc., etc. However, remember, this is a very loose interpretation of the parent. What else should I draw? The one on the other side. Okay, so yeah, it can't be perfect when I've got the erase x-axis. It can't cross the x-axis because there's one x-intercept, and the x-intercept is at -3, 0, and there are no other x. Are you speaking like math? Okay, so that is the generic look. Before you ask me, no, this is not on Friday's quiz, but we are going to do it intensively on Thursday. So come with graph paper and what do you guys say? Big brain? No homework.